Welcome back to the weekend edition. I'm Dr. Kingori, and the subject of our show tonight is hate speech, and our guest is none other than Reverend Timothy Njoya. I'm so tempted to call you Bishop.
Oh, why? In my church, we are equal. We don't have bishops. Everybody in my church is a pope and is a bishop and is a lay person. We are all equal.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Karibu kwa show. I don't know, can I be curious before we start about this?
This one?
Yes. The tie without the long part.
Oh, yes. You see, even lawyers wear bands like us. This was the dress in the Geneva University where education for law, law theology, yes, and philosophy one subject called rhetoric. These were classroom gowns. They were uniforms long ago. Which year was that? In the 15th, 16th century, 17th century. Oh. Even today, there are some universities which are like that.
I thought you were there. I thought. Now, the subject of our show tonight is hate speech.
Yes, sir.
Do you think Kenyans hate each other?
They don't. Actually, they don't. Okay. They may try to annoy each other, or exclude each other, or call each other's names, insult. Yes. But actually, when a bigger man, bigger than you, yes, calls you names, yes, that is intimidation. Okay. If a person who is lower than you calls you a name, that is insult. It's annoyance. No, that's application for war. Okay. All right. I will say that what you call hate speech ranges from immorality. You call somebody a name, like you said Mama Yako the other here. You mean it to insult. Yes. You are calling that someone because first of all you demean women, yes, then you consign a man to being a demeaned woman. If you called him Baba Yako, he wouldn't be annoyed because Baba isn't very bad. But what I mean now in his speech is that you are either inciting or you are terrorizing, yes, for instance, or you are trying to intimidate or even to exclude. But when you talk about hate speech from a politician, and I think politician in Kenya is another word for a terrorist. You get me? You know, there's no difference between, even though you don't call them terrorists, and because they don't carry explosives, they carry the youth to fight. They use the young people who have no job. Explosives like your pesos here, Mama Yako. Okay. Of course, you can say that when a politician uses derogatory words or anything else, the next day you could be beaten by his sycophants. So that even though we are not calling terrorists and carrying bombs, he is actually carrying explosives. How many times have you been arrested for what you have said? 6 times. 6 times? Yes. How could she adabu the first time? I've been arrested. The first time was in Nyeri. I was the policeman, the OSPD, yes, of the Central Province sent the Kilimani police station to come and arrest me at Jamhuri because of what I had preached at Tumutumu. What did you say? They thought I called Moi a pig. But Boniface Mwangi does that all the time. Actually, no. For me, I don't call him a pig. I had a crusade, and in which I said, people who the prodigal son went and behaved like a pig by eating with the pigs. You understand? Oh, so you called a second-hand pig, like he was a pig through the prodigal son. So subliminal message. I was to be someone to understand, to be asked why I called the president a pig. Then they arrested me. Kiraito, my lawyer, followed me to, you can read in his book, The Mad World of Politics. The Mad World of Politics. Yeah, Kenyans book. Yes. So I was taken to the police station, followed by my lawyer. When to the DC's office, boardroom. As I was entering, Kiraito was held by 2 huge men. He was done like that, and thrown into the garden. He was thrown into the. He was thrown into the flower garden. He wasn't fat back then, like he was. He ate the garden. When they threw Kiraito in the flower bed. Yes, did he continue? Yes, written it in the book. Until the police came and told me, "Sasa amka uende ama hiu." He had a free public rally. People came to hear. He was telling people why I'm being arrested. Oh, Governor Wameru ametoka mbali from a flower bed to a governor. That's powerful stuff. Yes, he was running a flower bed, not peacefully,
But
and
it
was not like being put here. What they did is that they removed him from getting inside because they were told they lifted him.
The hands.
I think two feet, the feet, and they took the shoulders.
Yes, and then they swing him.
No, they swing him enough.
Yes.
To
throw him. Moment, he was suspended in the air.
In the air.
Flower bed.
No, let me put it this way. Yes. I saw him being thrown.
Yes.
The way he was. Yeah. The way he was thrown is across the. You see, in every house, before you go to the door, there is a flower bed. And there is a path where people go around the houses. So he was thrown over that.
They aimed at the flowers.
Yeah, at the flower bed.
And he landed on the flowers.
On his back. Yeah. Yeah, and he hit, boom. The next time I was arrested in Nakuru, Moro. Moi said, one evening, he said in the TV, I could see the TV. Yes. He said, Moro is a security zone. Nobody should go there. In the morning, I woke up at 4 or 5. Called my friend Bidan Bogwa, called Matiba's driver.
Matiba?
Yeah.
Matiba
had a BMW.
Kenneth Matiba.
Kenneth Matiba's BMW.
Yes.
I don't know. We don't know where it went. Anyway.
That's...
I went to Moro, Joro. So vehicles came, these military vehicles, with the hammers, with the carnivals, driven backward. They wanted me to arrest me to go back without having to turn the vehicles.
Oh.
So I was lifted like a paper, thrown into the thrown like into the vehicle. By the time where I reached,
I was because it makes
I was thrown that way. One vehicle. Over the vehicle, over the other one, until I reached where the PPIO was. Koriru. I know him, Koriru.
Wait. Several vehicles are arranged.
They are arranged, but you are thrown, but you go over them and you fight, you are waited and you are thrown.
Police officers who are waiting for you to check in, then they can
throw you
to another car, then they catch you.
They catch you, they throw you.
That was fun.
So...
That was your second arrest. What has changed from back then to now? We've seen people say all manner of things about the president, about other politicians, and they never get arrested.
I said that we have changed the modus operandi, but the same substance. We are the best in the world as far as institutions are concerned. I don't think many countries in the world, I don't think any country in the world has as many commissions and institutions to do this, anti-corruption, do this, and the AIBC. Again, we have the best constitution in the world, but we have the worst people in the government. Because they're same. I said the modus, the theory, the psychology. We changed the philosophy of the country, but we didn't change the personalities.
I asked you a question when we started, whether Kenyans hate each other, and you said no.
No.
Yes, thank you. And the divisions actually on social media, in line with the subject of our show tonight, is people attacking each other based on the language they speak.
You see, the problem is this. When we are fighting vote mongering, when we are fighting for votes. For instance, let me tell you one thing. In the 1987, an MP, by being elected, if you counted the average vote in Kenya, if a person got all the votes in a constituency, those votes, the time he is going to stay in parliament, 5 years, is it?
Yes.
Those votes amounted to 333,000 shillings per voter.
And what does it take? What does it take for the general public to know that either both Jubilee and NASA are trading with them? So
they know that.
They know that.
The people know that because, for instance, let me say, I don't blame the people. I love people. I don't know how. I don't even breathe oxygen. I breathe people. Now, that's my energy. You see what happens? We are impoverished by these people for a purpose, to be traded with.
Does that mean
Kevera, Madare, all these Kawagware, all these exist for a purpose? They are like computer making companies. These poor people are billions. They are worth billions.
The real vifaranga via computer is Kibera and Mathare.
Yeah. You see, the poor in Kenya are not poor. They are impoverished. You understand me?
Just say the same thing you have said. The poorer you are.
Yeah, the Kenya, the more precious, the more valuable you are.
Yes, on this camera.
Yeah. Yes, people in Kenya are not poor. There's no poor person in Kenya. All Kenyans who are poor because they are impoverished. Deliberately impoverished because the poorer you are, the more valuable you are as a vote. And the more you are guaranteed to vote for someone when you are poor. And for such reason, he will make billions out of your poverty.
Thank you. That's a classic message for our show. And you guys can go get the book by Reverend Timothy Njoya here. It's called We the People. And our show cuts across all ages, all generations. So I think so that people can, we have people who are called slay queens. We have a group of people called slay queens. So the slay queens can get the book. You can call it the Book of Timothy. Reverend Timo. Yes, by a book by Reverend Timo. It's called We the People. Very special message. And one thing, I'm actually going to get this book myself so that I can see where Kiraito was in the atmosphere before the landing. I'm told he did a very graphic explanation. Now, that's it for the weekend edition. See you next week. My name is Dr. Kingori.